What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums. I'm gonna hit drums and click cover. Yes. This is good. Okay, perfect. I feel like the song needs...
Coming up on today's Cowboys Report, quarterback help sure seems to be coming. That may or may not be, and maybe isn't, the Joey Porter trade rumors. Some Michael Trigg status and where he sits if Marquise Bell is indeed a roster lock, Drew Shelton's future, and a roster move made by the Cowboys. Before we dive into all of that, presented by Prize Picks, we are on the road to 252,000 subscribers. Can we get there today? We're only 127 away. It's not that far. Hit that sub button if you haven't already for more free Cowboys YouTube videos. Roster move, we did a short on it right before today's live show. Mitchell Van Vuren, I think that's how it's pronounced. I honestly have no idea. I'm just guessing. Who went to St. Norbert. Shout out where that is for me in the comments, because I genuinely do not know. He has signed for the final preseason game. Simply being, they needed somebody to play. Michael Trigg and DJ Rogers dealing with what sounds like non-season-ending injuries. They might not play in the preseason game. Luke Schoonmaker played a little bit. I don't think he's going to play in this final game. I think he's on the team, whether I like it or not, barring something unusual or something good. Zach Kuntz and Michael Van Vuren will play a lot. I mean, they were playing Jumbo 11, which is like 3 receivers and a 6th offensive lineman at times in that preseason game because they just didn't. They literally needed a body. Unfortunately, Kelvin Gilliam is set to and has been waived/injured. The defensive lineman not going to be available. He's banged up, and it just made sense to move on from him and add some other pieces to help get you through the preseason. Let's go to some cornerback help here. And on his latest Cowboys roster projection, ESPN's Todd Archer listed a veteran not on the roster as his 4th corner. So truly projecting an addition at the cornerback spot. This is what he had, and we'll go more in depth tomorrow on like the full-on notable cut talents there. Deron Bland, Kobe Durant, Savone Revel, 4th was vet, not on the roster, and then Devin Moore. This is what Todd wrote. The 4th corner might not be on the roster at the moment. Adding a veteran free agent or making a small trade for one is not out of the question. This is something we've brought up in the past too. And I buy this idea because I have the exact same concerns. I don't know if you have a 4th corner on the roster. My plan is to get a candidate list at some point this week. We'll see if I have time or not. Kind of an unusual schedule with a Friday game, but that's the plan. Make sure you're subscribed. I will make note, the 4th corner is different than a big addition. That's why Todd specified a small trade. We'll talk about Joey Porter Jr. in a second. That would not be your 4th corner. That is a much different move than adding a small trade for somebody else altogether. That's not how it operates. So will the Cowboys go out and add another corner? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Y for yes, N for no at the pinned comment of today's video. Let's go to the Joey Porter Jr. trade. Now, these trade rumors are here thanks to what I would frankly call kind of an odd report out of Jordan Schultz. Like the way it was framed, and this came in before the preseason games, so timing was not great for us, says, Joey Porter's a name multiple teams around the NFL have wondered about as a potential trade target. JPJ's in the final year of his contract, where the cornerback market is. Teams have wondered if Pittsburgh could ultimately be open to a move with the Pro Bowl caliber corner. As you can tell from my added emphasis there, there's a lot of hedging in that tweet. 2 different wonders, a could, a potentially. Where was that sourced from? Was that sourced from the agents, which is my guess for Schultz, of, hey, someone come make a trade offer so that I can get paid and use it as leverage? Or was it sourced from the team of, like, let's kick the tires and, like, hint that he's open and available there? For what it's worth, Mark Caboli, who was a Steelers reporter, said did some snooping around, and the Steelers haven't gotten a single inquiry about trading Joey Porter Jr. and haven't made any calls either per multiple league sources. The Steelers have zero interest in trading Porter unless there is a crazy offer, like 2 first-rounders or something like that. More on Porter to come on today's show, which is made possible by Prize Picks. It's time to cash in with Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app, and the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is really easy to use. You pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Like this Week 1 lineup. Javonte Williams, more than a half touchdown, rushing or receiving. Same with CeeDee Lamb. And Cam Skattebo, less than a half touchdown, so no TD for the CTE boy there. Prize Picks available in most states, including California, Florida, and Texas. The new user offer is a new offer. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Use code HMA when you sign up. That is right. Prize Picks just switched up their offer. There's no better time than now to join. Lock in and win.
Your perfect domain is out there. Go to Wix and make it yours. Claim your space online. Own your name, your brand, your brand.
We obviously know today is going to be a lot of vanilla things, probably play actions, 3-step drops, but just fun, execute the offense that Drew Petzing wants to call.
Behind an offensive line that has a handful of starters, we won't see Penei Sewell, but we will see quite a bit of the starting offensive line.
We want him to be the guy. We just need to see a little bit more consistency. So great opportunity for these two guys to show what their coaches what they can do.
Play action, flag down, and Dobbs gets leveled. He loses the football. It's down on the ground, rolling into the end zone, and it's batted around, and it looks like picked up by Washington for a touchdown, Commanders. Amik Robertson knocked it free, and Joshua Josephs got on top of it for the score. We'll check the marker. No turnovers, and then the offensive line here sees a big hit on Dobbs.
Yeah, and that just can't happen. I don't know if that was a miscommunication. First of all, you can't line up incorrectly if you're, I'm not sure who they called it on, either a wide receiver or the tight end, but that's going to drive coaches crazy. Alignment is always the first key, and then certainly the protection, not good. That was our key to the game, Jason. Number 1, ball security.
70 career catches, certainly the blocking as well, as Sailors on the run on second down to the second level, driving the pile, and he will be about a yard short of that first down marker based on the far side official.
They're just valuable reps. You can't get too high, you can't get too low, but he said he loves Blake Miller's ability to rebound after maybe a bad snap or maybe a bad play or maybe a bad series against Hutch.
The receivers too. Isaac Tesla was engaged in his block from 2 seconds after the play there, as well as Jabari Small, the former Tennessee Volunteer, gets the carry out of lovely Memphis down in Tennessee in a training camp.
No
as
doubt.
it's 3rd down and 6. Washington brings 4. Line holds up. Dobbs on the roll. He sets, throws across his body. It is intercepted, picked off to midfield by Quan Martin. Man, it feels like 24 again. He had that pick 6.
Yeah.
2 years ago, last time they were here.
Yeah, and let's take a look.
5th overall pick by Tampa Bay. Play action for Daniels, under pressure again. He is swallowed up all the way back at the 39-yard line.
DJ Wanham on the backside. He's not going to bite on the play action. He finds a little crease there, beats the tight end, and that's what you have to do as a defensive end in this league. If you want to be a big-time player and put a lot of respect on your name, you have to absolutely refuse to be blocked one-on-one by a tight end. That's a matchup that you love. Great recognition there. Super excited about what they've seen from him throughout the first couple weeks of training camp.
Out of empty, Dobbs to throw, quick set, got it complete to the 26.
Skylar Gale-Howard chasing down the quarterback on a 3rd down to force a punt and get the ball back to his offense. He's a guy that created a lot of rave reviews. Nice catch.
Good blocking up front, too. Wilson again. It's all those snaps he's taken. Miller.
A lot of experience.
3rd and 3, off the mesh. It is Dobbs. He carves the lane, and he is out of here.
There you go. Going back to college days, defensive end bites down. Josh Dobbs says, I'll take it. Great job blocking on the outside, too. I couldn't tell who the wide receivers were, but those plays like that don't happen unless you can get that blocking on that second level. That's a good bounce back, Jason. That's a very good bounce back for this offense. A bad start to the game, first 5 minutes. Hey, you want to throw those away. But, hey, we got to still pay. As you get more reps, you're going to learn how to be a little bit more sneaky on hiding some of those penalties.
There's a run for Robert Henry Jr. He and Allen both scored last week as the Lions defense celebrates with a host of tacklers in there.
First thought is, let's get to the quarterback. This is not usually a running down.
Hartman down the middle, and he's got a completion across the 40-yard line. Hartman zips it to Okonkwo. Super Bowl for him, a Pro Bowl for him. 17 starts last year. Hartman drops it off. He gets it to Reynolds, and a juggling grab for Craig Reynolds, who ends up on a bounce. It's a first down, Washington, on a gain of 8.
Catching passes out of the backfield and picking up blitzes on third down to protect the quarterback. He is just a solid player.
Hartman play action. Nice. It's a screen, and it is doused. Absolutely blasted immediately on the catch by Avonte Maddox.
Oh, that's a big-time play. That's a big-time play from Avonte Maddox, and that's that veteran presence that you have. If he doesn't make that tackle, there was a lot of grass. You get caught with a blitz on a screen, normally doesn't end up.
Sets up second down and 15. Hartman to throw. That's a long throw and a big hit immediately by DJ Reed on McCaffrey. By the way, that was awesome. Phenomenal. Luke Altmaier is in to play quarterback. He got it for Jackson Meeks, and this time he's going to have to swallow it. He is sacked back at the 10-yard line. It is TJ Magaranyanga with the sack along with Kane Medrano.
Yeah, play number 2. How quickly can you identify the defense and make adjustments and get everybody on the same page? And
uh-oh, look out. Yeah. Altmaier is slung down. He is drilled by Javonte.
The Welcome Home celebration is going on now, and this is your best chance to get into a Mercedes-Benz GLC or GLE. Smart. Intuitive. More personal. And now, more attainable. Experience the technology, the luxury, and the personalization for yourself. Hurry in for exceptional lease and financing offers now during the Welcome Home celebration.
Having a custom app can give you a serious edge over the competition. And with GoDaddy Aero AI Builder, you can have one ready to go before the lunch rush. Just one platform, one conversation, and you can get started for free. Simply describe exactly what you want, and it'll start brainstorming ideas before generating a complete app for you. All within minutes, and you can get started for free.
Jean-Baptiste.
Yeah, I think just play action pass and looked like maybe Tyler Conklin on the backside here. He was just a little bit late getting off the snap, right? You saw him, everybody was moving, and Tyler was just a little bit late. Sometimes that's all it takes for you. What the offense is trying to do, what's the goal of this play, but also what is this defense trying to do, and where can we find some weaknesses?
Altmaier gets wrangled again. That's Maurice Hurst II, former Michigan Wolverine, with the sack. And the Lions, just for the second time today, don't convert on third down. That is the third sack on the drive. As it is 3rd down and 6. Kaliak-Manis slings it out wide. It's going to be short of the sticks either way. It is a catch over on the sideline for Colson Yankoff, the former UCLA Bruin.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. The Lions sideline was saying, we don't think so. Put in the work on the special teams, and that time coming up with a big play on offense.
Williams barreling into Commander territory, gain of 13 behind that offensive line. First down, Lions moving to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, stretch out to the right. Miles Frazier, nice job climbing to the second level. Nick Whiteside's a guy the coach has been raving about. Teammates been raving about all training camp and last week. Let's see if somebody can come up with a big play. Nice tackle.
How about that? DJ Reed blows it up. Henry is crushed.
Right.
Standing backflip into a triple south cow.
Careful. I don't think coach is going to like that celebration, but it's a heck of a tackle there from DJ Reed right on the edge. Just a little toss play outside. He's going to defeat. Look at this. You got a big deep offensive tackle coming at you. He just ducks his shoulder, gets under the block. You can't cut the big guys anymore, but man, that's a heck of a play. That's called teach.
39 seconds to go first half. Call it 3rd and 5. Here comes Moore on the edge. He got there. Derek Moore. The ball is out, and it's picked up by Washington. It is Nicholas Petit-Frere on the ball, but boy, Moore was relentless.
Love it. Just a speed rush. 4-man rush, man coverage. Look at the dip and the rip. Getting underneath.
Second down and 8. Kaliak-Manis reaches back, goes down the alley. Oh, what a catch! Jaden Bradley reels it in. A marker comes flying. That is an outstanding grab for the rookie out of UNLV if it stands.
They're going to call a penalty on the Lions, which isn't going to matter because it looked like a heck of a catch.
All of the players completed catch. Man. The flag for DPI.
Yeah, it was Abney. You're all over it, TJ.
Yeah.
That was an arm bar.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't get away with that, right? You can't get away with that. You have to find a way to. Well, and it looked like, I mean, easier if you're that offense than 3rd and 15.
A lot more in play call wise. Kaliak-Manis steps up, puts it left side, and it is on target for Antonio Williams, climbing in front of Abney for a Washington first down gain of 21.
And a little bit of pressure. That's just a really nice contested 50-50 ball. He's switching it up and really confusing that Washington offense.
Got a handful of tackles for loss as Drew Stevens slides into field goal from 27. Chris Spielman will join us when we come back to Ford Field. It's a long one, and they will run it. It is Blackshear. It's a first down, and then some to the 49.
Now, he's really good. His effort's been outstanding. He and Wingo come in with a small rush package that's been pretty effective this game. It has. It's good to see Wingo back, too.
Greg Dortch on the return will step through. He is into Commander territory. Josh Dobbs stays on with a short field from the 48. He'll go play action. And he'll lob a screen to Travion Williams. Catch and run Williams. Across the 25 and a hurdle down to the 23.
Great play call, but take a look at Nice here. Gets a block downfield. And just kind of collides a little bit.
It's Quantrez Knight, senior.
Yeah. Look at the play action pass, though. Everybody's thinking run. Everybody's thinking pass. Okay, we got to drop. Get the offensive line out in space. Nice job getting some positive yards. With him in shotgun, he's got a threat to pull. It's going to keep that defense honest on the backside.
Williams again. This time he is in. Touchdown Lions. He was not going to be denied.
Right back to it. Little read option. 56. See how it slows him down on the backside, though. It doesn't allow him to collapse down the line. And really nice job by the interior of that offensive line. Look at the double.
And it's your 6th season with the Lions, and you've become more of a vocal leader, especially with the rookies. Why was it such a point of emphasis for you?
Well, I feel like I'm one of the older guys now, and that's what helped me out. I'm not the most vocal guy, but...
Just hit for 55 from Kaliak-Manis down the sideline. And now Washington's at the 20. Katron Allen is driven back. Nowaski was in there, but also Skylar Gill-Howard is the one who made the play.
You might be the reason why the other guys are having a ton of success. And also what he does in the run game, too, is phenomenal.
Drew Stevens' field goal from 32 is good. Let these guys be career makers for you.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, etc.
And just give them some time to make some plays. That time, not what you're looking for, but yes, as offensive line. Either way, take the free first down.
But that's the type of penalty that gets you a fresh set of downs, and you would in the regular season.
This could be a big one, but you just never know what's going to happen. Because Jahmyr Gibbs literally could happen every single play. It doesn't matter if it's outside zone, a toss, a screen.
Then he transferred to Rutgers and had a marvelous career. He was a tackle for loss specialist. Off the penalty, Hartman on the roll. He'll go sideline ball, and he's got it away to Jacoby Jones. It's a long two, more like three. Hartman, Reynolds wheeling out. It's incomplete.
And who with the pressure? Just flies.
Wild what he's done. Altmaier has to try to break away, and he goes down. Sacked by Hurst. That's his second sack. Lions have been great on third down, over 60% for the day. Altmaier bailing and throwing it incomplete.
Base 44 Super Agents, the next thing you can't live without. Clearing up your email, scheduling meetings, and delivering a brief before you've finished your morning coffee. Time to update what you think is possible. Base 44 Super Agents.
The motion, love it. Altmaier rolling. Altmaier buying time. He's got a first down. It is Meeks out of bounds, and the Lions move the sticks.
There you go. Nice job by Altmaier, using the legs again. Jackson Meeks probably had a couple options.
And he ended up working at Harvard for his first job. He was at Yale a couple years later, got his way into the NFL, and is just everywhere he's been known as a grinder, a hard worker, as the Commanders get a stop here. That is the first official sack for Emilia on Dad.
Textbook.
Field goal is good for Jake Bates, and the Lions have put up 17 in this game 2 in the preseason because of his proclivity for being an astronaut. But did you know, and this is a prize for sticking around. Ball is down on the deck. Nobody's got a hand on it, and let's see who's got it. Washington at the bottom of the pile. We will see. There's still a fight for it. Chris Barnes, it looked like, had a chance at it for Washington. Yeah, it's Meeks gunning down there to make the play, and then all bets are off.
Yeah, good luck at the bottom of that pile, Jason.
Well, Eric Hunter was the guy who came away with the prize. The rookie out of Morgan State.
You got to do what you got to do at the bottom of the pile to get that football.
Luke Altmaier, the rookie quarterback, the 23-year-old out of Illinois, will hand it off. Little hesitation and a first down. Blackshear got there. Enough drive from the offensive line to move the sticks. 17-13. Kaliak, Manis, and Altmaier, a couple of Big Ten guys formerly chatted up, and Josh Dobbs with
Rams 1st and 10. Stetson Bennett, the quarterback, and he'll hand it off. And not much room to work with there for Jarquez Hunter. Call it a gain of 2. Steve Spagnuolo, the outstanding.
In the middle, and he's got his hands up in the air coming off the field like, wait, what is going on? But Peter Woods went in to replace him in the middle.
Again, it's Hunter, the ball carrier, and he gets it to the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, bringing up 3rd down. Chris Roland Wallace there to make the tackle. He's the new slot corner. So Trent McDuffie was in the slot the last several seasons and did it very well. It'll now be Chris Roland Wallace at that spot. He was undrafted out of USC back in 2024. Let's see if the Chiefs defense can get off the field. 3rd down. From the shotgun, Bennett with time delivers, and that's behind the Ethan Evans on the punt. Nico Remigio is deep for the Chiefs. He's standing at his own 11-yard line. Remigio from his own 10, trying to get to the outside. Good return for Remigio and solid field position for the Chiefs. 56-yard punt, 18 yards on the return. And this will be our first look at just the ground attack. Kenneth Walker is the running back, and they're going to move Fields to his left, and he completes the pass. Jalen Royals makes the catch. Last year, a 4th-round pick out of Utah State.
Well, I think it's important to point out about Justin Fields is, yes, he's been on multiple different teams. He's got the talent. It's the consistency, I think, that people have been looking for throughout his career. And he's had a really good training camp up to this point. He's going to have a lot of opportunity here in the preseason because of the way they're holding back Patrick Mahomes coming off of that injury.
Fields sets up the screen. Rashard Smith making guys miss. First down and more for Smith. And he's dragged down at the 41-yard line. Big focus of training camp offseason. They want to get more explosive plays out of the running backs. 1st and 10. And they give it to Smith. And Smith on the left side gets it close to the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 for Rashard Smith. Played his primarily at Miami, but then finished his career at SMU, where he was.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying, okay? I picked up the car a few months ago, and watch this. Ready? $97 premium, $20 were my fees, $118. Now, I covered up my private information, guys. $39, $118. Check this out. Ready? $500 for comprehensive, $500 for collision, $500 for comprehensive, $500 for collision. Okay? The same make and model. Hyundai Ioniq. Okay? Guys, it's the same policy. 108.
2nd and 7. All 3 receivers to the right of Justin Fields. And Fields, a little screen out there. Cyrus Allen, and Allen has a first down, but there is a flag back at the Chiefs' 48-yard line. Cyrus
Trying to find depth at that.
That's
great.
And Nussmeier looking to throw. Jesus on time from his own 9. Jared Wiley, and they're saying no catch. Get to the outside. Now he's going to cut it back and pick up a few yards. Solid return there. Graduated high school. So you think you want your dad to be a coach? 58-yard punt. Not. Play action. Nussmeier in some trouble, and he'll go down. Sack. Big loss on the play. Desjuan Johnson with the sack. Loss of 8 on the play, and this will certainly affect the play.
But here we go.
2nd and 23. Keep it on the ground. It's Johnson, and he gets it across the 5-yard line to the 6. Just a gain of 2 on the play. Hill Green there made the play, the rookie out of Alabama.
So I tend to think it's more of a cramp, I guess, right? I mean,
yeah.
To be able to.
I mean, it is really hot and sticky. Yes. I mean, yes. I have great empathy for everyone down there.
The field's hotter, the circulation's less. It's
the cloud cover has helped a lot, though. If it would have been bright and sunny today, it would have been brutal out there.
I told you guys earlier this week, I said, you guys better be prepared. It's supposed to be over 100.
Yeah.
And fortunately,
that's one of my big takeaways today. Throwing from his own end zone. Nussmeier's going to take a shot. And Brownlee, I thought he had it.
I thought he did too.
Jason Brownlee, the 3rd-year man out of Southern Mississippi. Xavier Smith backs up to his own 37, makes a guy miss into Chiefs territory, gets to the outside. Xavier Smith gets it to the Chiefs' 27-yard line. What a game it's been for him. He is delivered. 2023 preseason. Boy, it'd be nice for these guys. I realize it won't count in the regular season, but just to get back to the culture of winning around here. Good play there as they get it to the outside. Brennan Presley made the catch and forced out of bounds. That was Kennedy.
Well, Kennedy's one of the guys I want to see some stuff from, right? He's had a good camp so far. He's been impressive, and early on, I talked about this being one of the guys I wanted to watch, and so having an opportunity here in the second half to make an impact.
And he's part of the new world order in college football. Played at 3 schools:
yes.
Oregon, Ole Miss, and Tulane. That's tough running there from Dean Connors. It is a different world. These guys bounce around. It used to be that if a guy went to 2 schools, that was sort of the max, but now you see guys, depending on their situation, playing time. For more on Kennedy, let's check with Matt.
Hey guys, yeah, Kennedy has some pretty impressive numbers from college. He allowed just 7 Power 4 cornerbacks. Number 2 on that list, Monsieur Delane.
Love it. Good stuff, Matt.
Matt bringing it.
1st and goal. And Connors is brought down A gain of 1. Tanner McAllister makes the tackle. McAllister played his college ball at Ohio State.
There's Mansour Delane, number 5. He's been involved with some one-on-one and some 7-on-7, but they're hoping to get him in some team action and even into the game next week.
Connors, and he's in. Touchdown Rams. Dean Connors gets the score, and the Rams retake the lead 12-9. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. Jesus. And he's going to stay in the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and let's check in with Kimmy Checks.
Hey, so we were mentioning Patrick Mahomes playing defense and getting some action here pregame. Of course, he did not suit up and play, but his recovery really is thanks to this Chiefs training staff. Head coach Andy Reid really credits one of their trainers, Julie Freimeyer. She's been with him throughout his career, and he actually traveled with her this offseason. When he wasn't here rehabbing in Kansas City, she would actually go back to Dallas.
Patrick through those tough grinding days, and I'd like Trent to talk about a little bit more after this play. Oladokin in at quarterback. We talk about, obviously, modern medicine's changing all the time, but for you, how hard were some of those early days in the recovery and the grind to get back on the field?
Well, and that's the thing, and it's important that we pointed out Julie there and the work that she has done with Patrick, both in Kansas City and then down in Texas when he goes down there, because that's part of it, right? That's what you're spending. Kimmy just got done saying 7.5 hours a day. That was very similar to what I did. Yeah. You go in, you rehab in the morning, you take a couple-hour break, and you rehab more in the afternoon. And having that connection, with your trainer, and there's going to be good days and bad days.
Rams think they have an interception, waiting for an official signal, and yes, the Rams have it. McPherson gets the...
A lot of new faces, a lot of younger.
What an incredible...
Progressive makes it easy to get a quick commercial auto quote online, so you can get back to all your other
run they had last year.
It doesn't look... Weimer, the rookie out of West Virginia. Speaking of rookies, Peter Woods is with Kimmy Checks.
Hey guys, have our rookie defensive tackle, Peter Woods. Congratulations. Welcome to Chiefs Kingdom, the very first time you're suited up here and throughout this training camp and getting you ready ahead of the season.
I mean, so much stuff that, I can't even name. I mean, from being a pro in the meeting room, on the field, nutrition, those are guys that, I'm blessed to have them.
Preseason, give Chiefs Kingdom a little jingle.
Yeah.
8:04:17 local time. 6 red symbols changed course at the same moment on the Aegis display. Inside the Combat Information Center of the lead U.S. Navy destroyer, nobody spoke for nearly 3 seconds. Then the surface warfare coordinator leaned toward his console. Multiple contacts altering course. Bearing 082. Speed increasing. 46 nautical miles to the east. An Iranian naval formation had just turned directly toward the American blockade line. 2 frigates. 2 fast missile craft. 1 corvette. 1 command vessel. All 6 ships were moving west. None were broadcasting AIS. None were answering bridge-to-bridge radio calls. And none were slowing down. The formation was tight, almost deliberate. The 2 frigates held the northern side. The missile craft stayed low on the southern edge. The corvette remained in the center, with the command ship trailing several thousand yards behind. On the tactical display, their tracks formed a wedge. 8:04:28, the first American warning went out. Iranian naval formation. This is United States Navy warship. You are approaching a restricted maritime security zone. Alter course immediately. Silence. The message was repeated. Still nothing. Then the 2 fast missile craft accelerated. 22 knots, 26, 29, 31. Their wakes lengthened behind them as they pushed ahead of the larger ships. Inside the destroyer, the closest point of approach calculations updated automatically. If the Iranian formation maintained course and speed, The first ships would reach the blockade line in less than 11 minutes. The tactical action officer studied the geometry. This was no longer a patrol. It was a penetration attempt. At 0419, the ship went to general quarters. The alarm rolled through passageways and compartments. Steel doors shut. Sailors moved to combat stations. Weapons teams strapped in. Damage control lockers opened. In the Combat Information Center, the SPY radar shifted additional processing priority toward the Eastern Surface sector. The ANSLQ-32 electronic warfare system began recording every emission coming from the Iranian formation. Above the carrier strike group, an E-2D Hawkeye adjusted its orbit and began feeding a wider surface picture into the network. A helicopter operating ahead of the formation was called back. The carrier itself remained on course. No turn, no reduction in speed. At 0421, the Iranian formation changed again. The two frigates separated toward the north. The missile craft drove south. The corvette held center. Within 40 seconds, what had been a single wedge became 3 attack axes. The surface warfare coordinator watched the tracks spread across the display. They're trying to stretch the screen. Now the American force had to track threats across nearly 40 miles of ocean. One group to the north, one to the south, one coming straight down the middle. The command ship remained behind them, maintaining distance and transmitting intermittently. At 0423, the electronic warfare operator raised his hand. New emitter, Northern Frigate. The room tightened. A search radar on one of the Iranian frigates had changed behavior. Its beam was no longer sweeping broadly across the sea. It had narrowed, focused, tracking. Not yet a confirmed weapons quality lock, but no longer routine surveillance either. The destroyer transmitted again. Iranian warship, do not illuminate United States forces with fire control radar. No response. The radar remained active. At 0424, the carrier flight deck began to move. Yellow shirt directors signaled. 2 FA-8TE Super Hornets were pulled into launch position. Crews removed final safety pins. Engines turned. Exhaust shimmered across the deck. The jets were not launching yet, but the strike group was preparing for the possibility that they would. At 0425, the Southern missile craft increased speed again. 33 knots, 35. The distance dropped below 25 nautical miles. The Iranian corvette adjusted 5 degrees to starboard, keeping its bow pointed toward the American screen. The northern frigates maintained separation while continuing their advance. Every movement was tracked. Every change in bearing was logged.
Shadow, where I shine bright. I'm in the shadow.
Every emission recorded. At 0427, the U.S. destroyer transmitted a third warning, shorter this time. Iranian naval units, alter course immediately. Nothing came back. No acknowledgement, no challenge, no explanation, only radar energy and closing distance. The tactical action officer glanced at the countdown. 7 minutes to the blockade line. The first missile craft was now well ahead of the rest of the formation. Its speed gave it a rapidly shrinking CPA with the outer American escort. The destroyer's 5-inch gun rotated several degrees toward the contact. Not enough to engage. Enough to be visible. The Iranian boat did not react. At 0428, another electronic signal appeared. This one lasted less than 2 seconds. The SLQ-32 operator froze the recording and replayed it. Possible director activity. The Northern frigate had activated a higher power radar mode. The combat system immediately increased threat priority on the track. The tactical display changed. The contact was no longer simply classified as a surface combatant. It was now a potential shooter. At 0429, the carrier launched the first Super Hornet. The catapult fired. The jet crossed the deck in seconds, dropped briefly toward the water, then climbed into the darkness. The second aircraft followed less than a minute later. Above them, the Hawkeye began assigning vectors.